So it's time now to get the actual lights onto the frame, and looking at the spacing now. These are the 2.5 centimetre spaced lights that we talked about earlier, and as you can see, the spacing that I've got is somewhere between 8 and 10 centimetres, because the width of the lights here, you know, as you can see, they sort of fill out the space if you're doing it this way. If all you're doing is following the framework, then that's straightforward enough. You just follow the framework, and if you're just following the framework with this type of light, wrap it around the framework as you go, and it cuts down on the amount of clips that you need. I've cut my head out of this video for no other reason other than I want you to see a little bit more close up. We've got two different ways of doing it here. One is to go up, and to come down there, and to go across and have a clip there and a clip there, go back up, clip there, back down, and it creates these nice straight lines. That's great for things like the archways, the arch tunnel, that sort of stuff. It's a nice neat finish. Alternatively, if you want to save on clips, if you're running out of clips because your design is going to use up a lot of your clips, then you can just do it with a single clip and go back up, so you get that V. The difference when you see it at night time, it's negligible, so the choice is yours, whatever. Now you can see here I'm using clips, but when you get down to this bottom loop, you don't actually need a clip there because it's not going anywhere. When we come back up, this is stopping it from going anywhere. You know, we go back down, we don't need a clip, and so on. We can continue with that along there. So basically, you've got the different options that you've got there. Now I'm just going to point this down a little bit here and show you this one. If I start to bring in another set of lights to fill in this bottom section, and it's a different colour for argument's sake, because that's important, then once we start to get up to here, it's like, well, I can't, what do? I'm going to have to clip it on because these are all in the way. Now if you've got a small enough ball like that, it's okay, you can pass it through, and you know, you can get on with the job, and it's the same at the bottom, you're going to have to clip it. But if it is that you've got the full ball, which is the full size, something like this or bigger, you can't pass it through, then just clip it on, you know. Now it's important to, when I said in a previous video about thinking about your lights, it really is important that you get it right. Let me just come up to me now, you can see me. It's important that you get your thought on your lights right. If you've got distinct areas within your sculpture that you want to highlight, for instance the bodywork of a car as against the tyres of the car, as against the wheel hubs of the car, use different colours to define them areas. This is a three-dimensional see-through sculpture that you're creating, and if you do it all in one colour, it could end up looking like a blob of just one colour, because you can't determine what one area is from the next. So be careful with your choice of colours, and for instance we did the racing car, and we used a gold light, a warm white or a vintage gold light for the bodywork of the car, but we used purple because you can't have black lights like you have black tyres. Purple was our interpretation. Yours could be green or wet blue, whatever you want. We used purple on the tyres, whereas the hubs, because the hubs have got sort of quite a nice definition, it didn't work for us to put on the normal fairy lights, the normal string lights, so we used the line out lights that we explained about in a previous video, and they give a better definition for the hub. So you need to play around with it, and you need to think about it and be prepared to get the ultimate. You may have to say, I've done it, I've finished, and then you look at it that night and think, no, it's not quite right, I need to add this or tweak or whatever. You will learn as you go. Now that's the general rule of thumb. However, there are some things that one set of colour will work. For instance, the arch tunnel, or just normal archways, your mini arches, your hearts, things like the polar bear. One colour is fine with that, because one colour is acceptable. You're not trying to define areas. And once you start to become creative with Festive Frames, and you will want to define areas, because you'll want to make your own things, because you can do symbols like the Olympics or whatever, you know, whatever you want to do, you just got to work at it, and keep in mind all of the basic rules that we've helped you with and the tips that we've put on the website and will continue to put on the website. So with regards to the lighting, that gives you an idea of the spacing and the simplicity of putting them on. The one final tip that I would say about taking the lights off, which I forgot to put in a previous video, is this. When you put your lights on and you've got multiple sets, let's say you've got 10 sets of lights, make a note, because it's going to be November and by January you'll have had quite a few drinks over Christmas and you'll have forgotten if you're anything like me. So make a note of what order you put them on, because for instance with this, if I start to take this and wrap that through here and bring it round here, blah 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 blah, if I then come to take them off and try to take this one off before this one, and this one went on second, all I'm going to do is get to the point where I can't get to it because all of this is in the way. So this one needs to come off first. So make a note, stick it in the box, then when you come to take it down after the season's finished, take them off in the reverse order that you put them on. So the last one you put on, take it off first, and you'll find it a lot easier. And then one final tip, and I'll just come down here. When you're taking it all off, there's going to be certain situations where you've got all these different things and maybe they're just wrapped and not clipped, and you might think, well actually all I need to do is pull the pole out and push the cables off and I'll get them all in one go. And you're dead right on that, and it is a much quicker job because you're going to dismantle this anyway, so it's no big deal. One tip, don't do that if you've got two sets of lights on one pole. If you're certain that there's only one set of lights that's going around that pole, fine, release the pole, take it off, slide them off. If you take it off and there's two sets, all you're going to end up with is a huge tangle. So that's just a little bit of a tip. So there you go. We'll do some more videos as time goes on, and we'll be producing and making lots more different designs for you, which you can make with this one same Festive Frames kit.